What's up, fellas? You know how it is when if you're a busy kind of guy and you get stuff done and you do stuff, you like to stay busy. Sometimes plans have to change. Today it's starting to rain a little bit. I don't think it's going to stop me from doing what I need to do. I've got a project coming up toward the end of the May, and what I need is 3 3/16 by an inch and 5/16, I believe what it was. I need some pieces the size of this block. 3 1/16, an inch, and 5/16. Well, I milled some white oak here for the project, but dummy me, I didn't mill it quite thick enough, and that's okay. That's okay. But I only have 4, and I need like 6. And that white oak, you can see it's all splitting up. It had been dead for some time, and it's got a lot of bugs in it. And I just need some clear stuff. Well, it's going for a windowsill, so that's why we're using white oak. But this walnut here will do just as good. Now, what I did, I ripped and planed some that can be glued together and then planed to the finished thickness. So I know that would work. What I think I'm going to do is crank up the sawmill and saw some of this walnut the size that I need. What we had when the first test run we did, we didn't have any thick enough, so we glued together 2 3/4 boards, screwed them together, and that's what we made our block out of. But that walnut will last just as long and just as rot resistant as white oak. In my opinion, it will. And they'll paint up nice too. But I've got several walnut logs over here. So what I think I'm going to do is just maybe pull out one of these short ones here. I don't know about that one. I'll decide on which one. I'd like to get that one right back there. Boy, that'd make a lot of boards. It's not raining that hard, but it's raining enough to stop me from doing what I was wanting to do today. I think I'm going to pull this cover off the sawmill and put one of them short logs up here and mill some of that. Alright, I think I got a plan. I just found out one thing's for sure. It's a whole lot easier to put a long log on a sawmill than it is a short log. But this is a piece of walnut that is split up pretty good, but I think all I need is about 40 inches long. The finished material is 3 1/8 by an inch and 5/16. So I'm going to cut them 4 by 2. Trying to follow the advice of a real sawyer, which I am not, and trying to read the log. I see that I've got stress here, so that's pulling that way. And I've got stress here, and that's pulling that way. So I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This is a good flat side. I'm going to cut that off and then take a look at it. Well, sometimes it happens. For one thing, it's starting to rain, but the other thing is, I don't think that spring's supposed to look like that. Well, they say, NASA, I think we have a problem. And now the rain's coming. This spring is not really that critical. All it does is control the water valve when the throttle's turned on. I've went and bent the other end, and I'm going to see if I can get it back on there. The blade's dull. I know it's dull, but I'm going to see if it can finish this log. It may not finish. you've ever wondered what it looks like somebody trying to cut a log with a blade that's way too dull, you just saw it. There's obviously a bunch of stress in that direction. Like I say, I'm making 2 of 4s here, so I got this that's at 4 inches, so I'm gonna stay. So I got a 4x4 right there. And I'm going to isolate the pit in this one and see what it does. I don't know. I think I'm going to be able to get what I need. So I think I got what I needed here. I want to get these racked up, get a little weight on. get some air circulation, and then get them dried out, hopefully, and planed down. Well, there we go. And I'm gonna turn this fan on overhead, get some air circulation. I think some drying's gonna happen. Earlier in the video, I didn't know which spring was what and what happened. It was this spring that broke, which basically pulls the throttle back into position when you let off the throttle. So that's a pretty important thing. And this spring here presses against this, which presses against the water, the lubricant. So it wasn't, I just rebent the end, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but wasn't that big a deal. But I didn't know. I didn't know what happened. I thought it was, I knew something was wrong with the throttle, but I didn't know what cable. I guess I need to squirt a little bit of, put a little grease on that cable or something. I see a little bit of rust on it, and I don't want to do that again. But if it does, I bet you Woodland Mills, I bet they'll sell me a replacement. What do you think? I genuinely cannot wait to get a shed over this thing and be able to get shed of that cover. It does a good job, no complaints. But I don't really know how to sawmill. But I know what to do with the lumber once I get it. And I do the best I can. I got a lot of logs here to saw. So I better learn something, and I'm trying to learn. But I can't tell you how much of a great feeling it is to be able to take a need and fill that need without having to go buy it.